Okay, so today we're going to discuss about dream in general, and we're going to also discuss about fly and dream yoga practice. Okay, so we'll start with dreams. Why do we dream? Anybody? I'm sure every single one of you at least had a dream in your life, right? Yeah. Yes, right? But do we know why we dream? Any idea?
So it can be fun while
Yeah, you just want to be fun, because sometimes you're gonna have fun during the daytime because your mother didn't let you do it, your father didn't let you do it. So sometimes you just want to get that fun, excitement, or run away from reality, and you get that in your dream.
Dreams have like, I guess, like past memory. Let's say you're on a roller coaster, it was like very scary. And when you dream, it becomes a nightmare because that roller coaster is going insane and it goes into that volcano. And then
Very good. Yes.
when you wake up, that's when you die in your dreams.
Right. Some of you, those are kind of like flashback, the scary things that come back and haunt you while you are asleep. Yeah, Ricky. Okay, very good. So there are different reasons why we dream, right? So, but this is what science says, okay? Science says we don't really know why, but we do have some theories, okay? Number one, to help the brain sort information. When we sleep, the brain has to do what we call defragmentation. How many of you understand what defragmentation is? Have you ever seen that word? No? Anyone? Anyone online have seen the word defragmentation? Yes, Ted? Sorting pieces out in what sense? Breaking everything apart. Where do you see that in computer? So each and every single one of you use computer, right? Have you ever seen your computer defragmented? Yes, right? So sometimes your computer becomes too congested, very slow. Then there'll be a program pop up and ask you to make it quicker, smoother. Then what it does is it defragments. What it does is whenever you type in something, okay, you save different type of files, videos, photos, chat, anything. It is stored in the computer memories and hard disks in so many different places randomly, okay? Now, if you don't defragment for a while, your computer information is all over the place. Your computer becomes slow. Now, if you want to save the disk space and make your computer faster, you do a program called defragmentation. Now, that's how our brain does too every time we sleep. The whole day, your brain absorbs a lot of things, right? You go to school, you learn from your teacher. You look at a news on internet and you learn something there. You talk to your friend, you memorize something. You look at a TikTok video, you learn something, right? So there are so many different information the whole day that you cram into your brain. When you're sleeping, your brain has to defragment, okay? Now, that's what they're saying, to help the brain sort information when you sleep, when you dream. But you just don't know it. Your brain is working when you're sleeping. They reflect our feelings, just like what you guys just mentioned, right? It could be something, some kind of negative experience you had. You were scared on a roller coaster ride. You had an accident. Someone beat you up. Someone says something really bad to you. They're really mean to you. You just can't get rid of it. That comes to you in your dream. right? How many of you ever had a dream that you were chased by a big giant ghost or a guy that you can't just wake up? Yeah? Yeah? So some of you had that kind of dream, right? So dreams have no purpose at all. But some scientists said, dreams are garbage. There's no purpose. Okay. Now that's what science said. Why? As I told you multiple times before, the Western science is garbage. Right? Western science, till today, relatively, all they're doing is mostly pattern recognition, especially in mental process like this, like dream and psychology, psychiatry. They have a lot more room for you to jump in, relatively compared to Eastern religion or Eastern philosophy. Okay, so those of you who want to become a psychologist, psychiatrist, that's great, because our Western part of the world is very advanced in materialism. Okay, so but they're not really good in the psychology and kind of psychic thing like dreams. So that's why they're saying here the dreams have no purpose at all. Okay, now let's look at it. Does Buddhism believe in dreams? Okay, do you think Buddhists believe in dreams? Did Buddha believe in dreams? Yes? Yeah, you think so? Why do you say so? Why do you say Buddha believed in dreams? Give me an example. You all know it. He came out of the dream. Well, phrase it a little bit. You're close. Tell me a little bit more. Say it again. Good. His mom. So there's a very famous thing that, right? One, he is going to be in his mom's tummy, right? His mother was becoming pregnant. There was a dream, right? What was the dream? Right? So, so this one, right? So the Buddha's mother had a dream that a white elephant came and entered through the ribs, right? Then the king, she told the king, so the king had to go ask the minister what the meaning of the dream, right? So even before Buddha was born, the Hindus believed in dreams, right? The Buddha, of course, believed in dreams. So we're going to talk about that today. So, go ahead. The dream happened like this dream. So everybody has a dream, but there are different possibilities. We're going to talk about that today. Okay. So we're going to talk about famous dreams in Buddhism. Okay. In the history of Buddha, there are different talks, different sutras that Buddha talk about dreams. Okay. How many of you believe in dreams, by the way? A lot of you believe in dreams. Some of you are okay. How many of you really read books about dreams? TikTok doesn't count. Okay. All right. So remember, a lot of philosophy, whether you're talking about Eastern philosophy or Western philosophy, when you look at Buddhism, when you look at Hinduism, when you look at Christianity, when you look at Judaism, you will see a lot of symbolism, right? They don't tell you exactly what it is. They give you symbols and you interpret, right? So dreams are exactly like that. Dreams are symbols. 99.99% of the time, dreams never tell you, oh, you're going to be pregnant with Buddha. Okay. Instead, she just dreamt that a white elephant under her tummy. Well, how could she know whether that is good or bad? What does it mean? Now, the same thing, all the dreams are just like that. Dreams are symbolism, right? So symbolism is the idea of using a symbol to represent a meaning, idea, or quality. The symbols that are given do not have the same literal meaning as the thing about which they are referring. So here's a problem, right? So one symbol for one person could be totally opposite for a different person, right? So the dreams can be interpreted in so many different ways. Using symbolism gives the speaker or writer the opportunity to describe something in a more poetic fashion rather than simply saying what they mean outright. It can be used to express an emotion or something which is a more general idea. For example, a dove is the symbol of peace, or a rose is the symbol of romance and love, right? Everybody accepts that, right, today? This is a fact that everybody accepts, right? But there are things that people look at the symbols and interpret it total opposite way, right? So, for example, if you show a middle finger in this country, that's horrible, right? That's rude, right? In some countries, they just don't care. They don't even understand what that means, right? So the symbols can be interpreted in different ways. There are some words which are used in the symbolic sense which may have more than one meaning. For example, a chain. This can sometimes refer to being in prison, but can also be used to symbolize as a union, right? So you have a chain. A chain can be that you will be in prison very soon. Or a chain could be that you're in love with your friend so much. So the meaning of the chain can be different depending on specific situation, right? So there is a very, very famous dream that Buddha preached about 16 dreams of King Kosala of Pasenadi. Ever read about it? No? Those of you can Google? No? Have you been to different pagodas and ever seen Kosala in Massachusetts? Yeah, you read about it? I'm sure you have. Right. So that's the 16 dreams of King Kosala of Pasenadi. So the story is the king called Kosala of Pasenadi is a country. Okay. So he had several dreams. He had 16 dreams. Right. So those dreams, as I just explained, came to him as symbols. He had no clue how to interpret. Okay. So then what do you think he does when he get those dreams? No, first, do you think he will go to Buddha right away? Who are the advisor of the kings at that time usually? Brahmins, right? So he goes to Brahmins. Okay. So for example, Marina, could you read this for us, please?
exciting at all. People were very interesting. They couldn't see a good.
Okay, so that's a dream he had. So now imagine you're the king. How would you interpret it? Guys, you had dream like that. How would you interpret it? You're confused? You're puzzled? You're sad? What else? Upset? Surprised? Okay. So he goes to the Brahmins. What do you think Brahmins told him to do? Nope. Do you think Brahmins like Buddha? Nope. Nope. Remember, during the time of Hinduism, what's a good big thing that they normally do whenever there is something? Sacrifice, right? So the Brahmin said, oh, the gods are upset. The gods want to see a good big bullfight. So they told the king to get a big bullfight and sacrifice a lot of cows, right? But do you think the king was happy with that? No, the king said, no, it can't be. Because the king Kosala is an educated king, right? But the Brahmin said, oh, the gods are angry with you, right? So you have to make a good feast where the bulls are fighting, then sacrifice a lot of bulls and cows. Gods. So then he went to Buddha. What do you think Buddha interpretation is? There's a little hint here. A big drought. Okay. So Thomas, read that, please. So Buddha said, that won't happen during my time or your time. That will happen later down the line because of the wicked and unjust rulers who will come to power in the days of war's decline. It wouldn't rain on time. Farmers will go on gazing at the sky expecting rain for cultivation. Meanwhile, dark raining clouds will come and cover the entire sky. Thunder and lightning will start. Farmers get ready to plow. Others will take things inside the house which have been put outside to dry. But the rain will never happen as expected because the clouds will go in another direction like the bulls in your dream. People who have been expecting rain go from sadness to misery. Now, have you, would you ever thought to interpret that kind of dream like this? It doesn't make sense. Does it make sense today? Does it happen today? It does happen today, right? So Buddha said 2,600 years ago, it is happening today. Maybe you don't feel it yet because you don't live in those countries. But even here in California, is it happening? This is the drought outlook in 2022 in the United States. We're not talking about Africa. You have seen famine in Africa, right? Why does that happen? Drought. They have no rain. They cannot plant any crops. Famine. People dying, nothing to eat, right? Now, luckily in this country, it does happen too, but because of the technology, we are doing okay. But even then, look at United States. West side is what? Red. Okay, so do you think it will get better? No, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. That's why you see a lot of wildfires, right? Where we live, okay, the place that we live or even above, you're going to pay a lot of insurance for fire, right? Fire insurance is very expensive now. Why? Because the fires are getting worse and worse. If you recall, last year, there are so many different types of fires all over California that the whole California was on fire. Now, not only California, look at the whole west side, okay? The weather become extreme. Now, what happened to the whole east side? Ice, freezing, cold, thunderstorms, right? We just went to Florida. What did we see? Thunderstorm. Okay, thunderstorm so hot that our flight couldn't go airborne for like 2 hours on the runway, right? They let us wait. So all right, can I read that, please? Lustful. So, so look at the trees. At the very, very young age, the trees are growing a lot of fruits. So on face value, it looks like it's great, right? But what does it mean? What I mean by that is kids are going to get married, get pregnant, get more kids. Is it a good thing? No. When do you think it's happened? Today. It is happening today or not? How do you call it? Teenage pregnancy. Is it happening? We inside it's happening in India. That's true, but is it happening here in the United States? Illegally. Could that happen to you? There's a chance that it might happen to you, so you need to be very careful, right? So let's look at the statistics. So this is about United States, okay? This is statistics is in US, right? We're not talking about India, where there is culturally, the little young girls are forced by parents to get married with a rich guy. So they might be 11, 12 years old. The parents force them to get married, right? That's not what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about kids themselves doing it, right? So these days, a lot of teenage pregnancy happen, right? So teen pregnancy facts and statistics that you should know, right? You'll learn that when you get to high school too, because that's happening in high school. If you take health class, your teacher will teach you this, right? So Buddha said 2,600 years ago, it is happening today, happening all over the world. So of pregnancy. So you might think, oh, what's the big deal? Well, it's a huge, gigantic deal because your life is gone, right? You just barely become a teenager. You got a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? You become pregnant. Now your life is over. Is it easy to manage a family? Not really, especially today. It costs a lot of money, a lot of stress, right? There's no time for you to enjoy your life because now you need to take care of the kids, right? And also, what will happen to your kid growing up without a father? 99% of teenage pregnant family, there'll be no father, right? That's why there's a lot of single moms, right? Low birth weight and premature baby. A lot of teenage pregnant lady will deliver a baby. The baby will have low birth weight, and the baby are born prematurely. They have a lot of diseases. They have a lot of issues. They fail in school. They have mental retardation because they are not financially secure. Because you're just a teenager, you don't have a job. How can you afford insurance? How can you have a good house? How can you have a good car? How can you go to a nice school? How can you get a good insurance? That costs a lot of money. So you don't have good insurance, right? Because the mother is just a teenager, she doesn't understand, or they don't have a father, they don't have good income. So they have to live with someone else. There'll be abuse, neglect, poverty, welfare dependence. There's so many other problems, right? So this is happening today, right? So now we have discussed so far about two dreams. The first one is about what? The drought or the extreme weather. Okay, that's what we have been fighting in this country too, right? A lot of people want to save the earth. In fact, what was the earth? When was the Earth Day? Yesterday was the Earth Day, right? What are people doing? Planting trees, doing a lot of things to cut down the global warming, right? So, but that Buddha knew it 2,600 years ago by interpreting a dream that came to a king. And the second one, actually, also 600 years ago, happened today. Will it get better? It will get worse, right? That's what it means by these trees are going to grow fruit, meaning the kids are going to have babies at young age. Horrible. You need to be super careful. Okay? Yeah. Some are already happening. Some will happen in near future. It will get worse, right? Just like the drought is not going to get better. This teenage pregnancy is not going to get better either. Okay? But you, as a smart kid, knowing these things, you can avoid those, right? You can pick and choose when you finish your school, when you finish your college, you get a degree, you get a job. You can pick and choose where you want to live, right? Nobody tie you down. You're going to live in California, right? You can move anywhere you want, but you're going to look at these things, right? You're going to look at statistics. You can look at what the weather will be, how the people will be. Do I hang out with those people, right? Do I like people from New York? Do I like people from Florida? Do I like people from Middle States? Do I like people from California? Okay, what my political party is, what is my belief. You can pick and choose, right? And the same thing with teenage pregnancy. Knowing this, you can prevent, right? So not having a boyfriend or girlfriend till a certain age, till you're done with your education, is a great thing, right? Sooner or later, your parents will tell you that, but they say, I don't know why my mom and dad told me that. Well, because of this, because you'll be running into problems, right? Okay. We're going to go to third dream. All right, Ricky, read that for us, please. Look at that. The mother cow is getting milk from the baby cow, which should be the opposite, right? Yeah? So what does it mean? What do you think? So child liver. Okay. No, actually, so let's look at the meaning, okay? What Buddha said. All right. Let me Sarah read that for us, please. Oh my goodness. Is it true today? Big time. How many of Americans live with their kids or they live at a nursing home? The nursing home is elderly home. How many of Americans live with their kids? Or how many American kids live with their parents? Or they take in their parents, oh, mom, dad, you're old, live with us, we'll take care of you. How many? Very, very, very few, right? They call them during Christmas or New Year. Hey, mom, Merry Christmas. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Then that's it, okay? So, but if they do, what do they have to do? The parents have to take care of them. Is it happening? Is it happening to you right now? Yes. Look at that. Your grandma wearing your dirty clothes. Raise your hand. Who is doing that? She fold your clothes. Okay. So now you guys really need to be mindful, all right? Do not abuse your grandparents or your parents, right? Because that's the trend right now, right? One, Buddha said that at that time, it didn't happen. Buddha already mentioned that it will happen later in the future. It is now, it is happening. But it's a good thing? Do you think it should happen to you? No. So be mindful. If you live with your grandparents today, don't treat your grandparents like a slave. Some of you do. Some of you eat, don't wash your plates, just leave it there. Oh, my grandma will take care of it. My grandpa will take care of it. Or my mom will take care of it. My dad will take care of it. Please don't do that. Some of you take off your clothes, just kick it to the laundry room, and your grandparents take care of it. Don't do that. Okay? At least try to help them. I know you're busy. You have a lot of work, school work, this and that. At least help them. Okay? If not, you fall into this kind of people. Horrible. Right? You will fall into that third dream of the king, Pasenadi. Okay? So okay, so we're going to discuss one more dream and we will do practicing. Okay, let's look at the fourth dream. All right. Could you read, please? Some men replaced the strong adult bulls who were pulling the first cart in a caravan with weak young cows. Since the young ones were too weak to haul the load, they refused to pull the cart, so the caravan was unmoving. What do you think the meaning is? So you're saying just by guessing this picture, society put young ones Child labor. So let's look at it. Okay, William, read that, please.
To ill-bred, ignorant people and make a mess of their government. Intellectuals, when called finally for help, would refuse assistance and the government would fall to ruin.
Okay, so look at this. Dear King, this dream says that future rulers overlook intellectuals and give higher position like ministerships, diplomatic position, and appointments to courts to ill-bred, ignorant, and educated people and make a mess of their governance. Intellectuals, one call finally for help, would refuse assistance and the government will fall to ruin. Is it happening today? Not really in this country yet. What's happening right now? Burma, Myanmar, right? In Burma, horrible. Look at this thug, right? He started ruling the country. That's what he does, right? So he put all his military young kids who know nothing about management, who are not educated. Now they are in ruling position. Now guess what happened? All the intellectuals are leaving. That's why I'm here in this country. That's why your dad is here in this country, right? Each and every single one of your parents left Burma because of that. And a lot more are leaving, a lot more in the jungle fighting, right? Because this fourth dream that Buddha said 2,600 years ago is happening in Burma. And it's happening in a lot of other countries, right? Yeah. Your question is, did it happen during World War II? Yes, it did, right? But it's not as bad. It's happened only during the war. So during the war, it's a different. But we're not during the time of war, except what's happening in Soviet and the Ukraine, right? But right now, that is happening in Burma, right? So yes. Hitler time is different. For example, look at today, right? We don't like Putin, right? But the Russians love him. Some, right? For example, me online, I don't like him. A lot of people don't like him, but there are some followers who like him, right? So the same thing, there will be certain people, right, who will always support bad people, right? Just like there are people supporting Putin, there are people supporting him too, right? So you're an intellectual, your parents are intellectual, what did they decide? They decided to intellectuals, all the smart people, when they finally say, okay, we need help, the country is in danger, ruined. But they said, no, too late. I already left the country, I'm here, right? So that's what Buddha said 2,600 years ago, right? So we're going to pause the Buddha dreams discussion here. Very precise today. You're living that, which 2,600 years ago, what Buddha said. Okay. Now we're going to jump to this dream yoga meditation. How do we apply the dream in our daily life? Okay. So I'm going to skip these dreams and we will discuss that next week. And we're going to go to life applications of dreams. So what we'll do is, yes, I will teach you all 16 dreams, but we're going to teach maybe 3 or 4 every week with the real life application. Okay. So Deepak Chopra is a great musician and a philosopher, right? Some of you might know this guy music, right? Those of you who do music, listen to his music. Anyone know this guy? No, no. Look him up. So life is actually a dream. A lot of people say that, right? You have heard about that, but we don't notice it. So now, when do we dream? Of course, when we sleep, right? If you're dreaming when you're awake, who are you? Daydreamer. Is it good? No, you're useless, right? If you're a daydreamer, you're useless. But unfortunately, a lot of you guys are daydreamers. No, don't daydream. Yes, you are useless if you are daydreaming, right? So, but if you dream when you sleep, that's natural, that's normal, right? So how we spend a lifetime, look at it. How much do we sleep out of our life? Look at here. So what's your average age? What's the average age of an American today? 78. Well, if it is female, 82. Male, about 78. Or you can say 80, okay? Because females tend to live longer relatively to males, okay? So, but out of 80, we sleep about what? 28 years. That's about what? Almost 40% of your life you sleep away. So what does it tell you? What does it tell you? So if you sleep about 40% of your life, if you want to be successful, your sleep has to be, you have to have a great sleep, okay? There's no way that you can say, I'm not going to sleep. Can you do that? No, you're going to die or you'll go crazy. Next day, you don't think right? You're angry for no reason, right? You'll get into accidents. If I don't sleep and start driving, there's a good chance that I'll get into accident. So there's no way that I'm not going to sleep. We're spending too much time during sleep. Well, that's how we're designed. You need to sleep. But you have the control of making that sleep a good one, a great one, right? How many hours Buddha slept?
1 hour.
A little bit more.
But I don't know the story.
Right. So, right. So Buddha sleep about 2 hours. Okay. So, well, let's talk about it. Because when you get older and older, you don't need as much sleep anymore. Right. We'll talk about that. So let's look at this chart again. The biggest part in your life, you spend sleeping. But if you're sleeping with stress, if you're having a lot of nightmares, right? If you don't have a good sleep, you wake up really groggy and tired. Does it make sense to you? Do you think you'll be better? So the sleep that you have need to be a good one. Did he come up here and say? Stand up right here. Bye-bye. So, yes, we think we work hard, but in general, we work only about 10 years. 9 years, what are we spending time with? The TVs and games and social network, chit-chatting, TikTok and all this stuff. Okay, look at these. 1.3 years on a car. 1.5 years just taking care of the baby, changing diapers. 2.5 years shopping. 2.5 years in the bathroom. Okay, now your education is only about 3.5 years. but you spend about 4 years eating and drinking. Okay, so when you look at it, no, that's average. Not, it may not be true to each and every one of you. That's average American, right? So you're right. So the majority of your life, you sleep away. So it is better that your sleep is a good quality sleep. Say it again. Is it possible? So you wanna watch more movies and be playing more games? You wanna change baby diapers for 10 years? So this is also a statistic that belongs to you. Okay, so 57% of the students feel rested only 3 nights per week. How many of you feel like you get a good sleep every night? Okay, good to know. So if you don't sleep well, your brain will not be alert enough next day. You're not going to absorb as much. Okay, you think you're super, but you're not. So now the reason why I talk about this is, if you don't get a good sleep, you think you will be able to practice that sleeping yoga meditation? No, right? So you need to know how to get a good quality sleep, right? So first of all, how long should we sleep? 9.5, 8 hours? Depends on your age. So your age average, 8? 7 to 9? So it depends on your age, you're right. So let's look at it. So when you are little tiny babies, you need to sleep quite a lot, right? Now, most of you are from here, 6 to 12 years old. Okay, some of you are a little older than that. So those of you who are 6 to 12 years old, you're gonna sleep at least 9 hours here. If you're not sleeping 9 hours, you're not getting enough. I don't expect you to sleep 12 hours. Nobody sleeps 12 hours in this country. If you're 13 to 19, you're gonna sleep at least 8 hours, okay? Some of you are between 13 and 19, and you should be sleeping 8 hours. Now, if you're not sleeping 8 hours, that's not good for you. Yes, of course, there are some exceptions. You have test tomorrow, you have paper due tomorrow, you sleep a little less, maybe you sleep 6 hours, 7 hours, that might be fine. But you gotta recoup that hours that you lost, right? So make sure that in average though, you're getting 8 hours sleep. But though, for any reason, if you have to sleep less than that, whatever hour you sleep has to be a good quality sleep. Now, going back to Buddha, how come he can sleep only 2 hours? Is he not sleeping next day? He is preaching and he falls asleep. Why doesn't that happen? He's a human.
He gets the same amount in those 2 hours.
So very good. Good answer, Wayne. So if you know how to relax your body, okay, you may need just a few minutes. So there may be times that, have you ever had a situation where you doze off during a class and you woke up and you're really fresh suddenly? Have you ever felt like that? Yeah, I felt like that too. That's because that a few minutes of that sleep is a good quality sleep for some reason. Okay, so sometimes you slept 12 hours just because, okay, Friday night tomorrow I don't have to go to school, you know, my mother would not wake me up. Then you slept 12 hours, but you woke up really groggy and angry, upset. What do you say? Oh, I woke up on the wrong side of my bed, right? So why does that happen? you didn't sleep well, right? You didn't have, so the hours are just a general guideline. But if you know how to get a good quality sleep, you may not need that many hours. But the problem is, a lot of people don't know how to sleep well, right? People go to bed with what? People go to bed with their attachment, right? You're thinking about, you're worrying about, oh, my test tomorrow. Oh, I have an appointment with this. Oh, I'm going to talk to my friend and she's a mean one. And when she tells me this, I'm going to tell her that. How many of you think like that while you're going to sleep? A lot of us do. That's bad, right? So even though what that person is going to tell you or not, but you are already fighting in your imagination. That you take that into your dream. Your subconscious mind will take you in your dream. You're fighting with that friend. You may not recall next day, but the whole night, you're not getting into that deep sleep, the rest of sleep that you really need, right? For example, a long time ago, I don't like my father-in-law. So before I go see him, the day before, I think, okay, tomorrow I'm going to meet my father-in-law. He's a mean guy to me. If he tell me this, I'm going to tell him that. I'm already angry inside me. Okay. Now that happened to you too. Oh, tomorrow I have a class with that mean teacher. She might single me out. If she tell me that, I'm going to say this. Okay. Or I'm going to meet a friend who's going to be mean to me. Okay. Or I'm going to have this and that. So we all go to bed with those stress. That's horrible. Right? Or sometimes you just play a game. Your mother yell at you, it's 11, you better go to bed. And unfortunately, you just lost the game, right? You're not happy that you lost the game. You're not happy that your mother yelled at you. And it is already 11. You're gonna wake up tomorrow, there is school. Do you think you'll sleep well, happily? No, you just have adrenaline came on because you're just playing game. Maybe you're killing someone or shooting someone in the game. All these adrenalines already in you. And suddenly your mother yell at you, you're angry, and you're even angrier, more adrenaline in your blood, right? Suddenly, gosh, tomorrow I gotta go to class and meet this guy, this mean teacher, I have a test. Now there's more worry. Do you think you are going to have a great night's sleep? No. Do you think you'll wake up really rested next day? No. That's the reason why a lot of great parents will tell you, okay, put away your phone, come off your television set, come off your computer, right? After 8 o'clock, no screen, whatever it may be, right? So there is a reason why they tell you. Of course, you're not happy. Oh my God, what a mean father I have. He doesn't want me to be on the computer after 8 o'clock. Why? Look at him, he's on the computer right now, but he is telling me not to do that, right? So there is a reason why, right? Your parents, a lot of your parents will know how to get a good sleep, but you don't. But now you do, make sure you prepare for a good sleep. All right, so we're going to learn a little bit about the dream yoga, all right? Now, all of you, or majority of you know how to do body scanning meditation, right? I have told you that you will do body scanning meditation when you go to bed, but body scanning meditation alone will not be enough for you to get into that stage where you get flying yoga meditation, right? So flying yoga meditation is a combination of body scanning meditation plus some kind of practice, okay? So let's listen to this gentleman who will explain to you about the flying yoga meditation.
we need to make good use of that time. So the dream yoga practice is a very important part of, I think, in Tantric Vajrayana tradition, in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, also in the Burn tradition, particularly in the Mother Tantra in the Burn tradition. In the West, sometimes there's a notion of sleeping is kind of wasted time, and time is money. There's a negative relation to the sleep, and but now science and neuroscience, they're saying actually when you sleep, the waste clearing moment in your brain is very, very important for health and well-being and psychological state. So the ancient time, I think people figure out that already. I think so they use the dream as a part of their basically healing process. So where they can recognize their weakness, their wounds, their pain, their conflict, their fear, their anxiety, their depressions, and recognizing that through the lucid dreaming, in their dreams, and trying to transform through the practices of dream yoga, so that actually those changes in a dream state will actually have a change in a waking life. But not only trying to clear obstacles and a problem, but to really even awaken the true nature, their enlightened qualities, to awaken those qualities. So dream yoga is used very, very much. When you go to sleep, most of the time, we think we have a control during the daytime. We think we don't have a control in the nighttime, but that really depends. So we don't plan, we don't say, oh, in 11 o'clock in the night, I'm going to have a dream with my family. We don't have a plan. Dream happens, you are dreamt. So when you are dreamt, why you dream, what you dream, it's all condition based. So your actions of the day, your emotions of the day, your conditions of the day, your weakness of the day, all these experiences are reoccurring in a dream, and where you are tested, basically where you are tested, saying, are you conscious? Are you aware? Are you trapped in your fear? The demon is chasing you in your dream. Are you aware this is not a real demon? Are you aware your fear is producing it? Are you aware, in fact, you're dreaming? These are the questions. So if you're trained in a dream yoga, that you will be able to be lucid. That means you will be aware that you are dreaming. And you will be aware if you're dreaming, it's a dream, it's not real. If it's only a dream, you are also aware that maybe you can change. So you are able to transcend these feelings, wounds, into worse to better, low to higher, conditioned to non-conditional, and pain to joy. So it's a better processing and transforming. That's what the purpose of the dream yoga is.
So this is a little bit about the dream yoga, but as I explained to you before,
1/3 of our
really,
lifetime
we need to combine these technique with the body scanning meditation, right? But body scanning meditation will just put you to sleep very soundly. Okay. Now, what is the benefit of lucid dream? What is the benefit of using your dreams? What do you think? You can experiment it do it without doing it in the reality. Okay. So there is a one word that he mentioned called auto-suggestion. Have you ever heard of auto-suggestion?
Oh, what? That doesn't have to have a computer.
Auto mean what? by itself, automatic, or self, yourself. Suggestion is you're suggesting yourself. Say, for example, you're addicted to something really bad that you know you should get rid of it, but you can't. You're addicted to it. Let's say you're addicted to games, right? Let's say you're addicted to saying bad words, okay? Let's say you're addicted to pulling someone's leg. You know you should get rid of that habit, right? You know, okay, I should not use F words. I should not use S word. Oh, I should not be playing this much game. But you just can't help, okay? So one thing that works is what we call auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is basically reminding yourself that I don't want it. I don't want to do it, okay? So it is just like hypnotizing yourself. How many of you know what hypnotize means? A lot of you know hypnotize, right? So hypnotism is a medical treatment. If you're addicted to smoking, and if doctors cannot help, you can go to hypnotist, and you can get hypnotized, and you can get rid of that habit, right? We tried with the game addiction, right? A lot of other bad things, right? So now the same thing, you can do that with the dream, having lucid dream, okay? But the key is, how do we do that, right? So we need some practice. So those of you who want to try that, okay? So the flying dream needs to have certain stage of body scanning meditation and certain practice, okay? So let's listen how we do that.
Have you ever wanted to escape into the world of the dream? All of us are capable of dreaming, but sometimes it feels like our dreams are controlling us. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term, lucid dreaming is when an individual is fully aware that they're dreaming while they're asleep. Consequently, this allows you to have a certain degree of control over what happens in your dream when you know you're in one. Lucid dreaming can especially come in handy when you have reoccurring nightmares, have a desire to speak to a loved one who's passed away, or when you want to problem solve creatively. Sounds cool, right? Here are 7 steps that can help you lucid dream. Keep a dream journal. Even if you don't fully remember all the details of your dreams, it's good to get in the habit of writing what you can recall. You can start off by jotting down fragments of sensory information that stood out to you. Who was in your dream? What were they wearing? Were there particular scents or fragrances that you remember? What was the environment like? Did you hear any music? What emotions did you feel? One perspective that may be helpful to adapt is to consider your dreams as a memory that you're stepping back into. When you get in the habit of writing down what you remember, you can start to look for dream signs or patterns, which can be a tool to analyze your thoughts. Autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is when the dreamer suggests to themselves that they will have a lucid dream right before they fall asleep. This serves as a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you expect yourself to participate in lucid dreaming, the stronger the likelihood is. During autosuggestion, the dreamer suggests that they will lucid dream while they are relaxing and work on clearing their mind before they fall asleep. You are what you think, after all. Mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, MILD. Mnemonic induction of lucid dreams is done right before the dreamer falls asleep. The sleeper rehearses the dream and imagines what they will be in it. Then you can say phrases such as, "The next time that I dream, I want to remember that I'm dreaming." It's similar to autosuggestion with the aspect of self-fulfilling prophecy, but includes a mantra that they repeat right before they fall asleep. According to a study of the University of Adelaide, researchers found that participants who used the MILD technique and said their mantra 5 minutes prior to falling asleep had the best rates of lucidity. Participants who took longer to fall asleep were less likely to lucid dream using this method. Wake up back to bed, WBTB. Wake up back to bed involves the dreamer waking up in the middle of the night before their usual wake-up time and having them stay awake between a half hour to 2 hours before returning to sleep. This technique increases your alertness, and due to your natural sleep pattern, you will enter an REM cycle faster than you typically would. This, in turn, will help you lucid dream because lucid dreams occur the most during REM sleep. From the sleep study, researchers have concluded that combining the techniques of both WBTB and MILD is most effective at generating lucid dreaming in a 1-week period. But we're not sure if you want to sacrifice your sleep to test this out. Reality check. When the dreamer does a reality check, they ask themselves whether they're dreaming while they are awake and look for signs in their immediate environment that indicate they are, in fact, awake. For instance, you can jump up in the air or check the clock. In real life, when you jump up, you will immediately come back down, but in dreams, you may stay in the air or float. And when you check the clock, the time will barely move in real life. But in dreams, when you check it, the time may be drastically different each time. The intention of using reality checks is to help you recognize reality from dreaming more easily, but researchers from the sleep study discovered that it's least effective when used alone. To ensure a stronger likelihood of lucid dreaming, we recommend combining it with other techniques. Intention. Intention involves the dreamer imagining that they're in a dreamlike situation and recognizing the dream right before they fall asleep. This technique can be helpful for those who experience reoccurring nightmares. When you use this method, it can help you switch over to a more favorable dream. By setting up what you wish to dream of with visualization techniques, you're more likely to experience that dream when you do fall asleep. External stimulation. External stimulation used during REM sleep can influence one to participate in lucid dreaming. This is because the dreamer can rely on the external cue to remind them that they are asleep and dreaming. The most popular external cue people often use is a sleep mask. This is because it's directly in contact with one's skin to remind the dreamer that they are asleep. By investing in a good sleep mask, you can increase your likelihood of lucid dreaming. Have you ever been able to control your dreams? Did you use any of these steps to make it happen? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for your continued support.
All right, so how many of you are planning or wanting to try some technique? So some of these that they mentioned, I don't recommend that. I don't want you to wake up in the middle of the night, okay? So don't do that. But keeping a dream diary is really good, all right? So when I was young, I do that. I keep a little book next to me, and there are times that I wake up and, oh, what a great dream. I know I will forget that when I wake up tomorrow. So I'll write it down, I'll fall back to sleep. And then I look back, wow. Okay? And till today, there are days that I dream and I fly in the dream. Okay? It's not that difficult, or it's nothing amazing, all right? You don't need to be adult, you don't need to be a great meditator to have those kind of things, all right? But you do need to practice body scanning meditation. If you go to bed, if you scan your body, you fall asleep with that meditation. Number one, there's a great chance that you will be fully relaxed with good quality sleep and you wake up fresh, okay? Number two, if you want to combine some of those techniques, if you're interested in doing what they mentioned, auto-suggestion, okay? About whatever habit that you want to get rid of, or whatever things that you want to remember, whatever thing you want to build in life, okay? Dreams are powerful. Dreams can guide you to get to a better life, okay? But you can't expect to have great dreams with a poor quality sleep, right? So first of all, you need to have what we call sleep hygiene. If you need to go to bed at 9 o'clock, if your parents tell you go to bed at 9 o'clock, right? Some of you, your mom or dad tell you go sleep, then you leave the study desk and you go to your bed and you pull your blanket and you're on your phone. Don't do that, right? I know a lot of you might be doing that, or you go to the bathroom, lock the bathroom door, and you are on the tablet or the phone. Don't do that. Okay. If it's time for you to sleep, stop everything else. Your goal should be to get a good quality sleep. Okay. Do that body scanning meditation. Okay. Keep your sleep diary. Use this flying yoga meditation. If you ever get one, you will love it. It feels so good. Okay. So if you fly, okay, next thing you wake up, wow, you feel really fresh. You feel very happy. Okay. Now, right after that, you have this auto-suggestion thing that what you want to be in life. Use that, and your life will be much brighter. Okay. Those days that you wake up like, oh my God, what kind of night I had? You feel tired, your muscles and joints are painful, right? You feel like a truck just ran over you. Now, those nights will be gone. And those of you who get nightmares, and any one of you get any nightmares? No? No one? Yes? Not as frequently? Okay. Yes, some of you have that. So try to practice that body scanning meditation, and you will be able to get rid of that. Okay, and combined with some of these practice technique, you'll be able to fly in your dream. Okay, and I repeat again and again, it's not that difficult. Actually, it's one of the great things that you can practice body scanning meditation when you go to bed, and if you seriously do that for about 2 weeks, you will get that. It doesn't take too long, and it's not difficult. I'm not asking you to meditate in front of Buddha, right? You're just going to bed, you're laying down as usual, but instead of just going in and daydreaming or just thinking this and that, when you go to bed, you're just doing body scanning meditation. Okay? Anyone online has any question?